Today we're going to talk about fasting. Now, fasting is one of the most important things that you can do for your overall health. It's been a part of us as a people for a very, very long time. You know, normal human rhythm is to have a fasting cycle where you fast for 12 to 16 hours before you have your first meal. Lately, though, in our society, we've been pushing it further and further back with late night snacks and early morning meals. So we're going to talk about fasting today and the benefits that you can get from it. So, what is fasting? Fasting is going an extended period of time without eating food. All right. Now food means any kind of calorie intake. This can be sodas or any kind of drinks that have sugar in it. Anything at all that has a calorie intake of more than 5 calories. So there's different fasting periods that we can do that really have a huge benefit to overall health. First is a 12-hour fast, and these are you pretty much doing already probably. If you go to sleep at 8 p.m. and you don't eat till 8 a.m., then you are on a fasting period of 12 hours. To push it a little bit further, we can go into a 14-hour fast. That's when you get into intermittent fasting, about 14 to 16 hours. What that looks like generally is if you do go to bed at 8 p.m. or your last meal is at 8 p.m. and you get up at 8 a.m., just skip breakfast and go right into the lunchtime period. Around 12 o'clock, you can break your fast and you're 16 hours in. So that's really easy, right? Now, I like to push 20 to 24-hour fast once or twice a week. Now, the benefits of this are very, very big difference between the 16 and the 12-hour fast. You start to get into a period of autophagy and high fat burning in those periods. I do them about twice a week. They're super easy. I built up to them over time. First started with 12s, then I did 16s, and then I moved into 20 and 24 hours. And the last, we have some long fasts, 24 to 72-hour fast. These are done about once a year. They're pretty difficult fasts, I must confess. I've done them once or twice, and I want to make them more regular habit. They're really, really good for doing some really deep cleaning in your body, something called deep autophagy, where you go after really old and damaged cells, the ones that can turn cancerous or cause disease. So we do this once or twice a year. But as you can see, these are easy things to do and add to your life. You're probably already doing a 12-hour fast, so it's easy to extend it into 16 hours. Now, some of the benefits of fasting, okay? You can go longer periods without eating food. Now, why is that? That's because your body starts to get onto a regular cycle, not looking for those early meals, not looking for those early calories. So you can go longer periods. You have this more stable blood sugar level, so you feel good that time. You increase mental focus and clarity, and that comes from ketone productions. Ketosis is what happens when you're not eating food and your body is burning fat as a fuel source. And it also happens when you have a high-fat diet. And it all depends upon the liver for ketosis. But using ketones lights your brain up. So during your fasting periods, you're sharper, you're smarter, you're faster. And this is obvious, right? Because when we were first developing evolutionarily, we were always hunting. And when we hunted, we were always bright and smart and trying to find the best way to find our prey. And so we were always hungry during these periods. So there's a heightened awareness that comes with fasting. So make it yours. The ability to decrease body fat. Now, this comes from using, again, fat-burning capabilities of the liver through ketosis to find fats in your body and break them down. Go for long periods of time and make intermittent fasting a regular cycle for you, and you'll start to get into these immense fat-burning periods and lose weight very, very quickly. So, it's an amazing thing to do. You can also gain a lot of muscle by intermittent fasting. Now, it sounds counterintuitive a bit because you're not eating as much. But fasting is also about the insulin game. We're trying to decrease insulin in our body. The presence of it is ubiquitous. We're always producing insulin in our society. And we're starting to see a lot of development of type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance kind of diseases. And that's because we're constantly eating, and especially a high calorie diet. So getting your insulin under control will allow you to flex your body composition in the direction you want, lose fat or gain muscle. Now, food tastes better when you're fasting. Obviously, you're not eating when you're fasting, but when you get done with your fasting cycle, when you start eating, those foods taste better because your tongue is ready to receive nutrients, your body is ready and it recognizes it. Stable blood sugar levels we talked about, and that comes from fasting blood glucose levels. They stabilize a lot better when you're doing regular fasting periods. You live a longer and healthier life, and that is just the facts. I myself feel so much better doing this kind of intermittent fasting than I ever have in my life. And I want to convey that to you. You live longer, you live better currently, and it's a magical thing to start doing. Now, some common misconceptions that I hear all the time when people start fasting. Oh, I'm fasting today. I just had a little bit of food this morning. No food during your fasting periods. If you eat a little bit of food, you'll have a insulin event, and it'll start you out of ketosis, and it'll stop your fasting cycle. So don't do that. I only ate breakfast and a small snack today. Again, no eating during the fasting window. Really simple. I can't go days without eating. That's fair enough. I just mentioned earlier that doing those long day fasts, they can be very difficult, but they're worth doing once or twice a year to really clean your body out, to make sure it finds all those bad cells that may turn into cancer and disease later. This will do that for you. Your blood sugar levels get low? That's actually not true. Once you start fasting regularly, your blood cycle starts to regulate, your glucose levels start to stabilize, and you can go longer periods without having any kind of lightheadedness or fatigue that comes with it. I will increasingly become hungry. That's a misconception as well. Now, ghrelin is the hormone that causes hunger. When you eat, ghrelin goes away from a cycle called leptin, which is the hormone that's released to counteract it. But ghrelin actually comes in cycles. So you'll see the ghrelin that you'll become hungry around 11 o'clock perhaps, and then it'll fade away around 12. And it'll come back around 3, then it'll fade. It's not linear. It will not continue to go up. So it's not like if you skip breakfast and lunch, you are so hungry you can't stand it by dinner. Those cycles come and go. Recognizing this is very important because we think that when we're hungry, we got to eat instantly. But if you just give it a little while, have a little coffee, have water, go exercise, it'll fade away. You need 3 meals a day. Again, that's an invention of our modern society. We don't need those 3 meals. We need to eat when we're truly hungry. So going a little bit longer in the morning without food, that is the secret. So autophagy is our thing. We're going after those cells. We want to start eating body fats. We want to eat old cells. We want to go after those old and damaged cells. We can do this with our nice intermittent fasting periods of 16 hours. Do 20 to 24 hours every other day, maybe once or twice a week. This will get you into a place where you start regulating your body chemistry better. You start to regulate your fat and your body composition to really get you where you want to be and make you feel better longer. Thanks for tuning in. Check us out. We have another round of fasting coming up here. We have another couple slides showing you really how to dig in, how to start building your schedule, and how to start doing this for yourself every day to make yourself a better human, a superhuman.